We just finished watching House of Cards season 5. Wow, amazing. House of Cards was just really well done. Robin Wright directed excellent episode, and the production, the story, incredible, especially when you consider that it was written and then made before Donald Trump became president. And so now he's president, and I would say about 50% of what is in the House of Cards we're seeing. Most notably, the early part. You have to, in order to get what we're talking about, look at House of Cards seasons 1 and 2, because that concerns how the Chinese worked to influence the United States election with the help of Francis Underwood. That is very similar to what Donald Trump and his administration are being accused of with respect to Russia. There are a number of similarities here: leaks, process. Basically, they got it right. And I was watching my mom, and she was saying, they copied the administration. I said, Mom, this was actually done before the election. Really incredible. Other points. You're you're talking to a guy who, we're not talking to me, you're listening to me, who watched the original House of Cards that starred the great Ian Richardson. And Ian Richardson played Francis Urquhart. F.U., right? Francis Urquhart, Frank Underwood, right? He was a gentleman but brutal. Kevin Spacey takes it to an entirely different direction. Is he's got that streak in him, right? But he's got that southern gentleman charm as well. Robin Wright, you can see her change from the great wifey by the side to someone who basically wants her own husband out of the way. That is similar to the woman that played in the original House of Cards and was the wife to Ian Richardson's Francis Urquhart. With a difference, okay? The point of departure says as much about the generations as anything else. In the original House of Cards, she was the woman pulling the strings that led to Francis Urquhart's power grab and attempts, and orchestrated murders. At the end, she had him killed basically to save himself. On the day where Francis Urquhart is being sworn in as what would have been the longest serving prime minister, even longer than Margaret Thatcher. That was his dream, okay? And he was assassinated. This is entirely different. But the desire for power and the stop at nothing methods to achieve it are the same, including taking people out. I still feel that, in fact, Doug Stamper gave expertly played by Michael Kelly, gave what I think might be a foreshadowing when he said, just when you think you can erase someone, they come back, and they do never do. And he's referring to Rachel. That's in the back of his mind. And that cell phone belonged to Zoe Barnes, so I believe that the next House of Cards is going to wrap all this up in a way that I think will be equally exciting. Did they really kill Neve Campbell? Leanne Haley, her character? Wow, that's tough. She got screwed twice. Something else, I mean, first of all, she was dealt out of the administration when she was asked to resign by Doug Stamper. Then she was brought back in only to be double-crossed by that blonde devil woman, I call her, whose name I can't remember right now. You know what I'm talking about, with all the Chinese medicine and all that. Wow. Wow. Boy, something you can sink your teeth into. I like this one better than season 4. Well, there's a lot going on in this one. There's a lot more treachery. Okay, let's be honest. Um, I like season four in ways that were season three and three, season four really delved into relationships out of the White House. This was more inside the Beltway stuff. But then there's still these loose ends that have to be tied up. Will we ever see Frank Underwood answer for Zoe Barnes and Peter? Will Doug Stamper answer for Rachel? Lisa's still out there somewhere. Will Tom Hammerschmidt be able to pull his story together? I mean, something happened, you know? Did Neve Campbell really survive the wreckage? And was that cell phone in her jar, was that cell phone the one that belonged originally to Zoe Barnes? If it was, someone's going to get screwed. Will they recover the cell phone? And what will they find in it? Wow. And the sad part of it all is we're going to have to wait to learn the answers to all those and more questions. But I'm going to watch it again at some point. Great job. Great job, Kevin Spacey, Robin Wright, Neve Campbell, Michael Kelly. Oh, I can go on and on and on. Outstanding.